As I start this panel, I want to acknowledge that there are 3 people with disability who are on the stage, and 2 of them who are already politicians, and 1 who is in awe of politics, and everything around me I see through a political lens. Very happy to have blessings of Honorable Social Minister Mr. Phal Desai for giving us this platform to talk about issues which is important for people with disability. Over to you, sir.
It is a high time to discuss this issue and to come out with this solution. So, few days back I met the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, and I placed him before that more than 7 to 8% of Goa's population belongs to this category. At least nominate 1 member in each of the panchayat, so that these people will take lead in their area and they will identify the people. The most important thing that we all must know, that we must have a robust data bank of all our disabled person in our area. So panchayat, we must start it from the panchayat. In each of the panchayat we must identify, and having all this data, we should be able to have a software which will immediately identify and give us the filter data of each of the disability at any point of time. Or if I want let us say mechanical engineer from a particular area, I just put a area name and mechanical engineer having a qualification and hobbies or his experience. We will get immediately the data of all those people and who can come and join us. In India, what I have seen is that we place the advertisement and nobody appears for interviews, and that go waste, or it is transferred to some other category. It should not happen when we have a large population. When this will happen, I will just come back to that. Why political reservation is required is when we have our own person representing us, placing all the issues in the Vidhan Sabha to make a good legislations for their people, a strong policy, strong schemes, and that is a right of the person with disabilities. So I feel this is a high time every state should demand, and we must fight for this, to have a political reservation at a local level. You know what we call that, स्थानिक स्वराज संस्था से लेके पार्लियामेंट तक हमें रिजर्वेशन चाहिए.
Definitely acknowledge coming from you with stalwart leader. So, sir, to you, sir, Mr. Bashir, your thoughts on the same. You yourself has been, 5-time member of parliament. You have been on the, various committees, a minister. You've dealt with disability very closely, sir.
I fully agree with the Honorable Minister and you with regard to ensuring some kind of reservation in the post, whether it is in the panchayat, assemblies or parliament. This kind of discussion is very birth. It's very good also. We have to raise our voice for that. The second thing I would like to say that the initiative taken by this organization is really wonderful. Inspiration for my coming in this meeting is because of their restless work in this. Now the thing is participation in the politics. What exactly is that? It's not only just getting some post in the panchayat or other bodies. At the same time, in the government, in the administration level itself, what is happening with regard to this disabled people? We all know that we have passed a legislation. This act is, maybe that may be called a very, very important one of the best piece of legislation India has ever seen. There we have guaranteed, this employment in the government services. What happened to that? In the reservation post in the government employment, that has not been adhered. Nobody cares about that. That kind of attitude, what is to be done that? I will tell you, Kerala is, in almost all the cases, Kerala is a good model. There we have made it compulsory because we made it a part of PSC recruitment. When you notified government jobs, then we have set apart a percentage as per the law In that way, when it is implemented that way, all the vacancies were filled up. Otherwise, these people, they try to avoid these challenge differently able persons. So in that kind of thing also, a determination on the part of the government is very much required. As far as a humble member of the parliament is concerned, sir, I used to raise my voice. We always were in this. Because when I was a minister in the state of Kerala, there also we have made all these kind of reforms. So what I am saying is, policies are there, UN resolution is there, our other constitutional kind of things, Article 14, like that, equal kind of things, all these things are there. But the implementation side, if you look, it is very poor. So we must have a vision and determination to get it done. That is the best way of inclusion. Otherwise, just by making some representation in the seats, that won't serve the purpose.
The issues around disabled people has been raised by your good self and Honorable Minister here and many other politicians that we and Member of Parliament we engage with. But the irony is that disabled people themselves are not able to raise this voice in the appropriate forum, whether it is the Legislative Assembly or or the Parliament. There is a gap throughout. And we in the sector, we also always talk between me and Deepak and Smita and so on, that the participation of people with disabilities on a very periphery space. And so there is a lack of understanding on our part and also on the part of the policymakers. And that is where, sir, we feel that the sector feel, the National Disability Network, we all feel that, it's high time that there is a real representation of disabled people in all level of policy making. Where do you see that, sir? Do you think your state can take or your party can do something around that? Some policy can be adopted where it is mandatory to have some kind of representation of people with disability when you talk about any matter. It's not that when you talk of disability pension, you invite a disabled person. When you talk of anything to do with education or infrastructure or fire safety or a celebration, why not a disabled person also be present in all that?
I fully agree with you. No dispute over that. There must be some kind of reservation in this kind of categories. For that, what best we can do as the people representatives, we are bound to intervene in that. As and when we get opportunity, we may raise that also. This feedback, of course, is good. Thank you very much for your observation.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll come to you, Deepak, on that. You have a story to tell. I mean, from the time I have known you, at least 2 decades, if not more. Just give a little bit of your story in a very short way, and then what you're doing, your responsibilities as of now as a member of your political party, and where do you see that struggle for other people with disability in India?
Now, I see myself as a different breed of being an academician and a politician. I am a politician activist and not a disability rights activist. That's something which I want to put it across straightforward, because we sit in one household, that is social work or disability activism, and we want things to happen at the next door, which is politics. That cannot happen much better. The second point is that I work in you have asked me this straight question, that I work in the DMK party as party secretary. Now we are able to move the DMK party, which is 75-year-old party, which is not a new party, 75-year-old party, to have a disability wing in it. Madam Kanimuri is going to be my boss in the DMK, and she has agreed to take 6 state deputy secretaries from 6 different disabilities. In fact, I owe all this success to none other than Javed Abidi sir. I'll tell you how did I get this one done in Tamil Nadu. Javed Abidi sir ensured that I go to Seoul for an international exchange. There we went and stayed along with Madam Meenakshi for 15 days. There we came to know that the associations of the disabled people in South Korea, they made a conglomeration and met the political party, and they got a wada, in the sense like they got a promise saying that if we support your political party, after your winning, you will get this done for the disability sector. They did this particular arrangement in Seoul, and the party which the disabled people supported, it won the elections, and they got a separate building for Disabled People's Association, just the 4th building from the Parliament of South Korea. So that's something which inspired me. The second inspiration came from Baba Sahib Ambedkar's talk in 1931 for the depressed class. So these two models we joined together. Sir, Bashir sir, it was so nice that you said just seat cannot ensure everything. So what next is important? Because I'm sure Bashir sir should have worked with Simon Brito, the only Anglo-Indian MLA with disability in Kerala Assembly. Of course, he's not there anymore. But this whole concept of politicization and political articulation is something which is very, very crucial for the disability sector to take on from here. The greatest challenge lies to me ahead for the next 10 years, sir. It is nothing but making these disabled people to articulate in a much better fashion, not the way that we speak like an activist, but as a political activist. So that is the challenge that is there in front of us. And disability sector must be represented by a disabled person. That is very important. I think there I stop here.
And I say we have a lot of work to be done. I also take Aman Kaur and Bajaj Finsa with me because it is their support that we do a lot of advocacy around disability, and we run a Member of Parliament Forum on Disability, which Basir sir is also a member. Just wanted, Aman, your vision that how important it is for a corporate like yours to support advocacy work and to bring in this kind of a political participation for people with disability.
Before I delve into the question that Arman's put forward, I would just like to throw some light on that Bajaj Finserv CSR is one of the few CSRs who has a earmarked portfolio for persons with disabilities, not to exclude, but to have this representation so that across all sectors, persons with disabilities can be represented as per RPWD Act of 2016. And now coming to Arman's question. I very strongly believe in the space of disability. Policy advocacy is extremely important, and it has to be done in a way that it reaches where it needs to reach. It cannot be done in a charity and welfare way. It cannot. It needs to be about asking for your rights. It needs to be that. There needs to be education amongst everyone of how to do it. So we at our CSR, we do a couple of projects, and we've partnered with NCPEDP. This is one of our initiatives, which has culminated into this panel discussion. And we host a couple of others with other NGO partners. We've held a small research study with the Gokhale Institute to understand PMC's, Pune Municipal Corporation's disabled populations number, the welfare schemes that are available, that we are doing as a CSR and how we can catapult it. So I am a strong advocate of,
of course,
promoting policy and advocacy and polity, all of it. And before I conclude, I will just put forward what I feel. It is by design that we have very craftily excluded persons with disabilities. Absolute marvelous design. And now we sit here, the so-called able-bodied, trying to figure out how to include. This paradox always leaves me perplexed, and here I would just rest and we just work
Aman,
towards
it
it.
requires
Yes.
guts to say that here on the stage. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Thank you. I think we, all of us, count on you and your entire team for the support and the kind of work we do, which is not a beneficiary-driven. Ms. Zaruhi, over to you, if you can take that. No.
So I'm a disability activist who work for more than 20 years in NGO sector. Then I understand that if I want to bring changes in my country, I need to do it by myself. So I need to participate in political life. And in 2017, I was elected as a city council member. Then after a Velvet Revolution in Armenia in 2018, I was appointed as a Deputy Minister of Social Affairs and Labor. Then I was appointed as a Minister of Labor and Social Issues, and I worked in this position for almost 2 years. And in 2021, I was elected as a parliament member, and now I am working in Standing Committee of Labor and Social Issues. So disability rights, women's rights is my priority, and I'm fully agree that it is there's a big difference between being a politician with disability and being politician with disability who are working for equal opportunities, working for disability agenda. Because before me, in our country, we have a lot of politicians who also have live with disabilities, but no one talk about disability agenda. And first of all, of course, I need to change attitude of my team members, because they also need to be educated to understand more, because they also have their sometimes stereotypes, sometimes lack of knowledge, so they are not guilty for that, because they have it's their first experience to work with persons with disabilities, because I am the first minister who used wheelchair, first MP with wheelchair. So also I remove all physical barriers with my physical representation there, yeah.
Right, thank you so much. I'll come to you, Tushar. I think you being the youngest in the panel, what do you think the potential we have as a country to include people with disability, young people with disability? What will you do, sir?
Yeah,
What is that you want to do?
with the lines of Deepak ji, we'll make sure that our party will have a disabled wing, like a youth wing, and we will
Super,
work
yeah.
together to get the representation in the active politics and also organizational politics.
Great.
So what I will do, or what my organization will do, is I will first try to make every building, every government institution, every law-making institution feasible and accessible to the disabled people.
Thank you
Because
so much. So I think we'll go back to Deepak. Deepak, I just wanted to understand from you, how do you see, I'm giving an example of a union election, but there are many elections that happens in India, at a panchayat, at the state, at the municipal, at a various level, and you have your own, struggle for so many years. So what is that you want to say? What is your advice for all the political parties and people with disability in general across the country?
This is a very difficult question to answer, Arman, because we are now held with our own very basic needs. Politics, I shouldn't say it is a second generation or a third generation right, but unfortunately, from the last person with disabilities perspective, it seems to me like that. So we need to come to politics. I don't think disabled people should reserve themselves with NGOs. Baba Sahib Ambedkar did not stop with NGOs. He came to politics. He spoke about the reservation. Now, politicization is a very, very important area that disabled people will have to work out on it. Now, our friend was talking about uniform civil code. These are all, we must have a take on uniform civil code. So social justice. Now, without if you look at Tamil Nadu's political plane, for that matter, India's political plane, social justice without justice for physical disabled people has been there for 75 years now. Now, where is disability justice and social justice? Madam, you said very nicely. This quote is what I want to put it across to the disability community. Out of sight is out of mind. Now, if you are not there in the political sight, we are not in the political minds. We are sitting in the social sector, trying to bring change in the political sector. I don't think we will go anywhere. Unless and until, nothing wrong in joining political parties, nothing wrong. They are not bad people. I think we have to go and educate. Political activism is way forward. We keep on, banging the, look at how bureaucracy works. One ministry brings out UDID card, the other ministry doesn't accept it. Look at the understanding between ministries. So I think we need not just people with the legislatures, political parties, we must work in the movements also. I think, Arman, NCPEDP must start a political school for persons with disabilities. And one area. The second area is political school for the non-disabled people to understand the politics of the disabled people, not the issues of the disabled people, politics of the disabled people. So I think either left wing or right wing, whatever it is, we need to be part of it. Every political party must have a disabled wing. which is something which has to start from my friend here, who's sitting very much here. BJP must have a disability wing. They should always hold every disability sector responsible and accountable to the disability sector also. Even if the Chief Minister is ready to give me ticket to stand in elections, where will I go for money? So I think we must look at the world models of making disabled people part of political participation.
Right. Thank you so much, Deepak. There's a lot of for thought. I think the challenges of disabled people are the same more or less, whether you go to the developed country or or you come to a global south thing.
Yes.
Just your final thoughts, yes.
Thank you very much. So I need to leave after 5 minutes because I need to participate in another discussion. So I'm fully agree that we need to understand different approaches. I mean, we need to collaborate first of all, and of course, political systems may be different all over the world in different country, but the disability rights and disability needs are the same in every country, I think. And of course, we have a lot of common problems, but I believe that the solutions also are the same, or at least we can learn from each other's experience, because I loved your experience, and I would like to tell my friends, my colleagues, for example, when I meet a person with disabilities who are very actively involved in politics, who are working not only as a disability right politician, he is a good, maybe, I don't know, he is maybe good in other sectors also, and that's normal because it's politics, so it's about it can be about everything, but also we need to raise visibility of people with disabilities, because without our visibility, without inclusive development, we can't reach real development in our countries, because it's not a matter of only one law or only one field. We should be ensure this inclusion in every field. So that's why I think laws, policies also should be inclusive. I mean, we need to make, if it's come to education, to technology, to infrastructure, I don't know, it should be sensitive, and we need to ensure inclusiveness and of all these processes.
I would invite your comments, sir, about Deepak's vision for people with disability, as they say, and you have been a veteran politician yourself. What is your thought in terms of, politics for disabled people is, without resources, very difficult, that's one, and also a very highly inaccessible, like my friend Tushar was saying, highly inaccessible in the country, the public places, public transport, they're difficult, there are changes happening slowly, there are places that you can go, and rural India is difficult in that way.
In a parliamentary democracy system, the most powerful weapon is ballot and the political leadership inside. So you have to be inside. In order to do that, political parties themselves should decide that, number one. Number two, I have been listening to your announcement here with regard to the historic agitation, which inspired to have a legislation. Like that, unity of the disabled section is an important thing, because it will give you courage, strength, and that will, as a pressure, need not be a pressure group, but it's a government. In that case, government cannot ignore even this. In this, I would like to tell you, people may say good thing about the government which they like, but the fact is what? Government is also cheating the disabled persons. As an example, last year's budget, if you go to the Government of India budget, when we saw that, we were really shocked. Budget allocation was very poor. Utilization was also very poor. So these kinds of things are going on. This barrier-free construction, that also is there in the Act. But unfortunately, That also is not added. Many other causes. So what I am saying is, they must stand together, and the political parties also should realize that their strength cannot be ignored. In that way, many things can be done. I hope that this kind of discussion will surely give us an inspiration to think in this positive line. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now may I request Sunil ji, if you could make your opinion.
I was thinking about when I joined politics in 2010. Before that I was NGO activist. But any cause, you work for an NGO, I understood that unless and until I enter into politics, I don't get power. To run an NGO is very different thing, basically for funds and getting sanctions or permissions or many things from government. But once you are into politics, it is very easy to avail all these things. So that is why I entered into politics. So last 15 years I am in BJP. I was National Secretary of Bharatiya Janata Party for 5 years. So that to enter into politics, there should be some entry point. कहाँ से जाए? वो जो जगह है, सब लोग जहाँ से आते हैं वहाँ बहुत धक्का मुक्की चलती है. It is very difficult to enter in politics. There are thousands of people, those who want to enter into politics, but there is no entry board out of every political party's gate. Why that is no entry? Because there is, you can say, a feeling of insecurity in existing politicians, that if such a talented person is coming, then what will happen to me? So that insecurity doesn't allow people to enter into politics. किसी को भी राजनीति में जाना है तो पहले अंदर आने में ही प्रॉब्लम होता है. Do you agree with me? Because of the existing system in any political party at any level, whether mandal level, village level or national level. Secondly, differently able people, what is required in a politician? आप अगर एक राजनेता में क्या क्या चाहिए, इसको अगर आप सोचेंगे तो एक है जनसंपर्क. यू हैव टू गेट कनेक्टेड विथ पीपल. पहली बात, यू शुड बिकम पॉपुलर इन पीपल टू बी इन पॉलिटिक्स. सो नाउ देर आर नंबर ऑफ वेज ऑफ बिकमिंग पॉपुलर. सो yesterday I saw one story, one singer, her name is some Thakur, I don't remember her name, but BJP is offering ticket to her in Bihar. What are her credentials? She is a singer with 6 million followers. So a differently able person can have millions of followers on social media. What is the problem? आप लोगों में पॉपुलर हो सकते हैं, आपके अंदर टैलेंट की कोई कमी नहीं है. यू हैव टैलेंट इन यू, so you can become powerful on social media so that you can connect people. Only problem may be to reach actually there. ये एक प्रॉब्लम है जिसके लिए सॉल्यूशन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज ने निकालना चाहिए. If there is a differently able politician who want to enter into politics, he should be given some political assignment, post, and then he should work. So some facilities should be provided. Additional facilities should be provided. So rightly you said, out of sight is out of mind. So there should be mind space. There should be space in minds of existing politicians, heads of all political parties. उनके दिमाग में ये विषय ही नहीं है कि दिव्यांगों को राजनीति में आना चाहिए. तो आपने वो विषय छेड़ा, यही बहुत बड़ी बात है.
सर मैं इसीलिए आपको बुलाया सर, ताकि कम से कम जहन में ये बात आए. एंड दिस इज स्मॉल अटेम्प्ट सर, एंड विथ योर वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस इन पॉलिटिक्स एंड यू कम फ्रॉम अ वेरी grounded grassroots background and worked in various parts of the country. That's why we are trying to bring people who think that participation of disabled people on an equal basis with others is fundamental, and there is no discussion on that.
If you want to get elected, suppose you want to contest election and you are differently able, you have some limitations, but you have other unlimited powers you can do. A particular area there are problems of people. What politician does? Politician try to solve the problem of people. So people will get connected with you once you are into politics. You get some political assignment, president of particular area or secretary of particular area. So people will meet you. They will come and meet you. People understand that this person is not easy for him to come to us, but we can go to him. So there are many things which are available on internet. We should be net savvy. टेक्नोलॉजी से हम लोगों को बहुत अच्छा प्रशिक्षण मिलना चाहिए, ट्रेनिंग मिलना चाहिए, जैसे सोशल मीडिया का ट्रेनिंग मिलना चाहिए, जैसे आपको राइट टू इन्फॉर्मेशन का पूरा अच्छा अगर ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है. किसी एक जगह पर कोई नाले का प्रॉब्लम है या रोड का प्रॉब्लम है, आपके पास कंप्लेंट करने के लिए लोग आए, आप पॉलिटिक्स में नए नए आए हैं, यू कैन गो थ्रू राइट टू इन्फॉर्मेशन, यू कैन गो थ्रू ऑल नंबर्स, यू कैन कॉल. ये सब करने के लिए आपको कुछ ज़रूरत नहीं है कि आपको पर्सनली जाना पड़े सब जगह पर. यू कैन कॉल पीपल, यू कैन मेक कंप्लेंट्स ऑन इंटरनेट. जो जनरल पीपल नहीं करते, उनको मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन आप उसमें एक्सपर्ट बन सकते हैं. और सिर्फ फॉलो अप्स करके इन पॉलिटिक्स और इन गवर्नमेंट वर्क्स व्हाट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट इज़ फॉलो अप. एक बार लेटर भेज के कुछ होता नहीं है, पीछे पड़ना पड़ता है, फॉलो अप करना पड़ता है. लोग नहीं करते हैं, पॉलिटिशियन करता है, उसको रिजल्ट मिलता है. सो आप फॉलो अप्स करेंगे और एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करके दिखाएंगे, आप अपने आप उस एरिया के पॉपुलर हो जाएंगे. आप जो नॉर्मल लीडर है उससे ज़्यादा पॉपुलर होंगे. लोग इसकी चर्चा करेंगे कि देखो ये आदमी है, ये देख नहीं सकता है, लेकिन इसने हमारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दिया, एक झटके में सॉल्व कर दिया. जो ये नहीं कर सका इसने करके दिखाया. इफ़ देर इज़ ए विल देर इज़ ए वे. आपके अंदर विल निर्माण करना ये ऐसे प्रोग्राम से होगा, और हमारे अंदर विल निर्माण करना भी ऐसे ही प्रोग्राम से होगा. हमारे अंदर विल आना, देखिए मैं बीजेपी तो एक बहुत बड़ी पार्टी है जिसमें डिसीजन मेकिंग एक आदमी के पास तो है ही नहीं. वो तो एक बहुत बड़ी सिस्टम काम करते हैं, उसमें से डिसीजन इमर्ज होता है और उसके बाद में वो डिसीजन इम्प्लीमेंट होता है पार्टी के अंदर. गवर्नमेंट तो और दूसरी बात है. हम लोग ओपिनियन बता सकते हैं हमारे लीडर्स को. जो ओपिनियन, जो डिसीजन लेने वाले लोग हैं उनको मैं ज़रूर मिलूंगा और मैं अपना ओपिनियन बताऊंगा कि मैं पर्पल फेस्ट में गया था, वहाँ डिस्कशन में ऐसा एक विषय आया जो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. और कहीं ना कहीं तो शुरुआत करेंगे
सर,
तो मन में शुरुआत हो जाएगी. हमारे मन में शुरुआत होगी, इनके भी मन में शुरुआत होगी.
बिल्कुल सर, आपका मदद चाहिए. बहुत तकलीफ होती है मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट तक मिलने के लिए. दिन भर रात भर मिलते रहिए. कभी
देखिए एक बात मैं आपको यहाँ डंके की चोट पर बताता हूँ. कोई भी डिफरेंटली एबल पर्सन हमारे पार्टी के मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट को मिलने में अगर उसको प्रॉब्लम है तो सीधे मेरा नंबर लीजिए, मैं ये देखूंगा कि वो एमपी उसको मिलेगा.
थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू सर. आपको एक प्रस्ताव देना चाहता हूँ सर.
बताइए.
और कि हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा जो एमपी फोरम है सर, आप उसमें हमारा एडवाइजर बनिए प्लीज.
मैं आपका इनविटेशन इमीडिएटली एक्सेप्ट करता हूँ.
सो मच, थैंक यू, थैंक यू.
वन कैन बिकम एक्सपर्ट ऑफ सोशल मीडिया. आप लोग भी बन सकते हैं. एंड देर आर पॉलिटिकल कंसल्टेंसीज. पॉलिटिशियंस को लाइक्स रिट्वीट करने वाले ग्रुप्स लगते हैं. ये दिव्यांगों के 1000 दिव्यांगों का ग्रुप बनाइए. उसको कुछ नहीं करना है, मोबाइल में बैठे बैठे रिट्वीट मारना है, लाइक करना है. एक लाइक का 100 रुपया, एक रिट्वीट का 200 रुपया. बैठे बैठे पैसा कमा सकते हैं, लेकिन आप लोगों ने उसको सीखना चाहिए. वी शुड लर्न हाउ दिस सिस्टम ऑपरेट्स.
राइट सर. सर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
मैं बताया कुछ समझ में आया ना आपको दीपक जी?
Well, I mean, I've been articulating for disabled people to become politically savvy, because being politically savvy, I don't think likes and retweets are that easy, isn't it? So I think we will have to apply our mind, and probably, if at all, we concur with that, and then we take it.
I think
across.
Sunil ji is digging to employment. Even politics can give employment. I think I will come to Aman.
This has been a very interesting panel, and I, as an outsider, was enjoying this because there were perspectives from parties. दो चीज़ों के साथ I would like to leave this whole discussion. पहला, जो लोग आप लोग बैठे हैं, जो सारे लोग बैठे हैं, I just want to get your attention. People who are sitting here are with disabilities, and then the people who are able-bodied, normotypic. Please make the effort to know someone who is not in your immediate, probably, relationship, but who is disabled. वो बहुत प्रोपेल करता है ये सब करने में जो इस पर चर्चा हो रही है. हम एबल बॉडीड लोग बहुत एरोगेंटली छोड़ देते हैं सब क्योंकि हमें फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है ना, बट हम किसी भी दिन डिसेबल्ड बन सकते हैं. Second point I want to make is, because we are talking about politics and representation of persons with disabilities in politics, and I strongly agree with that point that it shouldn't be bichare and welfare. You have to come, you have to speak. I absolutely agree. This segment of disabled also makes the vote bank. Politics us pe chalta hai. It makes the vote bank. The invisible majority is the vote bank. Please be seen. Please make it count. And this whole discussion was largely very, very centered towards visible disabilities. I would also like to tell you there are disabilities which are not visible. I could have a dyslexia, there could be someone with intellectual disability, mild intellectual disability, दिखता नहीं है, तो उस पे बात नहीं हो, ये ज़रूरी, ये correct नहीं है. तो while we talk about disabilities which are very evident, there are disabilities which are not, right? So please keep all that in mind. And to all the three politicians sitting here, MP Forum is something which Bajaj Finserv, NCPEDP together is trying to achieve. We've not had great luck here. There's been a lot of struggle, what Arman was pointing out. This is my humblest of request to please get the MPs to table the questions, to voice it out, so that there is representation ka beginning.
I promised from the DMK we have 39 MPs, and now me being the secretary of that particular party of the state level, I will ensure that all 39 members of parliament will have access to NCPEDP, and NCPEDP can have access to the Rajya Sabha MPs and the Lok Sabha
Thank you
MPs
so much.
together. I give this in front of everybody. I urge all our disabled people to become politically savvy, politically articulative. If petrol prices go up, we need not to chip-chop sit. We can say that with tricycle we were mobile, and with petrol scooters we have become immobile. That's a political statement. I think political articulation can come in social media. Twitter is a very excellent way of being part of the politics. I don't think only political parties and political work can make us politicians. We are politicians right from the moment we are denied something. Thank you very much. I think we should see all our disabled friends in political arena. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. I think,
बिल्कुल.
of course, we are recording this. By the way, we
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
to mention everything is recorded. We'll play it on social
जैसे
media.
उन्होंने बताया कि वो
Sir.
डीएमके के कुछ 39 कितने है ना 39 MPs, तो सबसे ज़्यादा MP तो हमारे पार्टी के,
Sir.
तो ज़्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी तो मेरी होती है.
If at all you want your dreams come true, you have to wake up. I think this particular discussion was a wake-up call for the disabled sector to understand itself what exactly is politics. Is politics a bad word? Is politics okay? What is political articulation? What is activism articulation? So these kind of differences, discussions, agreement. So, without thunder and lightning, there's no rain to the world, So that's how it is. So we had a great discussion today. I mean, in fact, if on December 3rd, we are supposed to not just celebrate, we are supposed to think where we have come from, where have we come from, what distance to cover so far, and how to go across. Now, that kind of a discussion and illuminating arguments, a lot of articulations, these were the outcomes today. It was a beautiful start, a wonderful good start is half done. So I think this particular discussion is a great start. That's what I would say. Political discussion will not stop here. I think this has started here. It will end up in the parliament.
I'm calling for action from behalf of Bajaj Finserv and NCPEDP. I'm requesting all the parliamentarians, all the government bodies to please present legislatures at the state level, at the central level. This is going to be very helpful in representation of the rights of persons with disabilities, in addressing all the issues that need to be addressed, and giving them the rightful place, the questions and the issues.